All right. Time to pop the cork on this deep dive into the Niagara Peninsula wine region in Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
You know, you've sent us some really great sources in Portuguese.
Yeah.
And we're excited to kind of distill the essence of those for you.
I bet.
And from what we've gathered, you're after
Yeah.
kind of like a comprehensive understanding of the region, right? A
Yeah.
little of the history, the terroir, you know,
Right.
what types of wines they produce. I think maybe even a taste of what it would be like to actually visit.
Definitely, yeah.
So buckle up, because we're about to take you on a journey through the vineyards,
Yeah.
cellars of the Niagara Peninsula.
Cool.
One thing that really struck me looking at these sources is how they really challenge the idea that great wines only come from Europe.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Niagara has a rich history of its own.
Oh, yeah.
It goes all the way back to the 1800s
Oh.
with Johann Schiller, a German immigrant, who planted those first vineyards near the Credit River.
So kind of sparking that initial interest in winemaking in the area.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But things really took off in the 1860s.
Oh, okay.
That's when you see the commercial vineyards start to take root.
Okay, so like really starting to plant those roots
Yeah,
of the wine industry there.
exactly.
But those early winemakers, they must have faced a huge challenge.
Yeah, a significant challenge adapting those European grapes to that Canadian climate.
Totally different.
Yeah, very different.
So how did they overcome that?
That's where hybrid grapes like Concord and Niagara came into play
Oh, interesting.
and allowed for wine production during those early years.
So it sounds like they were really forging their own path, experimenting with different grape varieties.
Exactly.
Until they kind of found their footing.
Yeah, and this kind of leads us into the modern era, right?
Oh, okay.
With a pivotal moment in 1975 with the birth of Inniskillen wines.
Oh, yeah, Inniskillen, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they really changed the game.
How so?
Well, what's remarkable about them is they didn't just plant any vinifera grapes.
Okay.
Like Chardonnay, Riesling, Pinot Noir.
Right.
They were really meticulous
Interesting.
about selecting specific clones that were well suited to that Niagara terroir.
So they weren't just planting Chardonnay. They were choosing like specific types of Chardonnay to match that climate and soil.
Right. And this attention to detail played a huge role in elevating the perception of Canadian wines on the world stage.
And then in 1988, we have another big milestone, right?
Yes.
The introduction of the VQA.
The VQA.
Which stands for?
Vintners Quality Alliance.
Okay.
Think of it like a guarantee of quality and authenticity.
Okay.
Making sure that any wines bearing that label meet certain standards for grape variety, origin, winemaking practices.
Got it.
So this really boosted Niagara's reputation internationally.
I see.
You know, it attracted investment
Yeah.
and made people curious about this region and the wines they were producing.
So you've got this foundation, this really great foundation of the wine industry.
Right.
But what makes those wines sing, the thing that makes them special, is the terroir.
The terroir, yes.
It's kind of nestled between Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, right?
That's right.
And those lakes play a huge role in the region's climate.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so how does that work?
Well, Lake Ontario
Okay.
acts as a massive temperature regulator.
Interesting.
You know, it absorbs heat during the summer,
Okay.
releases it slowly during those colder months.
Keeping everything nice and even.
Exactly. So it creates this longer growing season, which is crucial for grape ripening, and helps protect those vines from those harsh winter freezes.
But even within the region, you have all these microclimates, right? Created by that interplay of the lakes.
Yeah.
The Niagara escarpment, you know, and variations in elevation.
Right. So you mentioned
Beamsville Bench.
Beamsville Bench.
20-mile bench.
Short Hills Bench.
Short Hills Bench, yep.
So each of those.
It's like a patchwork of different terroirs, each influencing the wines in a unique way.
And then you've got the soil.
Ah, the soil.
Which is
clay, limestone, sandstone.
Wow, what a mix.
Even gravelly pockets.
And this is what gives the wines their complexity.
Exactly. It adds that complexity and nuance.
So, for instance, limestone would contribute?
Limestone contributes to minerality in the wines.
Oh, great.
While clay tends to produce fuller-bodied wines.
Interesting.
So you get a real range of styles.
Yeah, depending on where the grapes are grown.
Right.
Okay, now we need to talk grapes.
The grapes, yes.
So Chardonnay. Seems to be quite the chameleon in Niagara.
It is, yeah.
You get everything from those crisp,
crisp, citrusy Chardonnays
Yeah.
to those richer, buttery
Oh,
expressions
wow.
that have undergone malolactic fermentation.
So showcasing that versatility of
Yeah,
Chardonnay
exactly.
and the winemaker skills. And then you've got Riesling,
Riesling, yes.
which is often considered Niagara's flagship grape, wouldn't you say?
I would say that, yeah.
Why is that?
Well, Riesling thrives in cooler climates.
Okay.
And Niagara's terroir allows it to really express its full potential.
Interesting.
With those vibrant acidity levels, complex aromas,
Yeah.
and the potential to age beautifully.
The sources also mentioned a couple other white grapes.
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc, Gewürztraminer.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not all about the whites, is it?
Not at all.
They've got a really diverse lineup of reds, too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Pinot Noir seems to be a standout.
Pinot Noir is definitely a standout.
Producing those elegant, delicate wines.
Yes, those classic cherry and strawberry notes.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
And Cabernet Franc.
Cabernet Franc, yeah.
Which really seems to thrive in Niagara.
It does.
What gives it that? What makes it special there?
Often exhibits a lovely herbaceous character.
Oh, interesting.
In Niagara.
So is it kind of like Niagara's signature red grape, would you say? You know, it's gaining increasing recognition, for sure.
Yeah.
For its ability to produce age-worthy wines.
Interesting.
With complex aromas and flavors.
And the sources also mention Merlot, Gamay.
Yes.
Even Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, a little bit of Cabernet Sauvignon.
So they're really covering all the bases in terms of grape varieties.
They really are.
But we can't forget those hybrid grapes.
Oh, the hybrids?
Right.
Yeah.
Which played a key role in the early days.
Yeah, especially Vidal, which is the backbone of Niagara's ice wine production.
Yeah, ice wine.
Yeah.
So those lusciously sweet wines.
Luscious, yeah.
Made from grapes frozen on the vine.
Yeah.
They're really a testament to Niagara's cold climate winemaking prowess.
Absolutely.
Like they've taken something that in most regions would be seen as a negative, these freezing temperatures, and they've turned it into something truly extraordinary.
Exactly. And the fact that they've mastered this delicate and labor-intensive process really speaks to their dedication and skill.
Absolutely.
And ice wine really is one of those wines that captures the imagination.
Yeah, totally.
You know, it's
so unique.
Its origins actually go back centuries.
Oh, wow.
To a pretty serendipitous event in Germany.
Really? Tell me more.
Okay, so back in 1794, in the Franconia region of Germany, a sudden frost hit those vineyards.
Oh, no.
And it froze the grapes right on the vine.
Oh, I can only imagine what they were thinking.
Yeah, you'd think those grapes were lost cause.
Totally.
But the winemakers, they were resourceful.
Okay.
They decided to press them anyway.
I can't imagine they were expecting much.
No, none at all.
From frozen grapes.
But what they discovered
Yeah.
was something truly extraordinary.
Oh, wow.
This intensely sweet, concentrated wine.
Wow.
Unlike anything they'd ever tasted before.
So a happy accident.
A happy accident, exactly.
That eventually made its way over to the Niagara Peninsula.
That's right, yeah.
So how did this German discovery end up in Canada?
Well, fast forward to the 1970s.
Okay.
Those visionary founders of Inniskillen Wines,
right.
Carl Kaiser, Donald Seraldo,
yeah.
They were inspired by those tales of German ice wine.
So they heard about it.
They heard about it.
And thought, I wonder.
Exactly.
And they were growing Vidal grapes.
They decided to try their luck with the vital grapes they had in Niagara.
Wow. And hoping to replicate that magic.
That magical elixir, exactly.
But did they know if Niagara could deliver those deep freezes?
That's a good question.
Needed for ice wine.
It was a gamble.
Yeah.
Because those early years were marked by inconsistent winters.
Okay.
So it was a challenge to produce ice wine reliably.
I see.
But then in 1983, this perfect freeze hit.
Wow.
And they were able to harvest their first successful batch of ice wine.
That's got to be a pretty incredible feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Years of experimentation.
Yeah.
Finally paying off.
And then did they just start selling it right away?
Well, the story gets even better.
Oh, okay.
That 1983 vintage actually went on to win a prestigious award.
No way.
At a wine competition in France the following year.
Shut up.
I know. Amazing, right?
Wow. Putting Niagara ice wine on the map.
On the world map, yes.
So from a chance discovery in Germany to an award-winning wine in Canada.
What a journey.
Yeah, but creating ice wine, it's not easy, is it?
No, it's not.
So just walk us through
It's definitely not.
the process a little bit.
It's a labor of love, for sure.
Yeah.
It requires meticulous timing.
Okay.
And a lot of dedication.
Okay.
So imagine, it's the middle of winter.
Yeah.
The temperatures are way below freezing.
Oh, yeah.
And there are teams of workers out in those vineyards.
Wow.
Often in the dead of night.
Really?
Harvesting those frozen grapes by hand.
Wow, that sounds brutal.
It's challenging, for sure.
Yeah.
They have to work quickly to make sure the grapes stay frozen.
Right. And then those precious frozen grapes rush to the winery for pressing.
No.
But because so much of the water in those grapes is frozen, only a tiny amount of that intensely concentrated juice is extracted.
Oh, I see.
So it makes ice wine production pretty limited.
That's why it's so expensive.
Exactly.
They call it liquid gold.
Liquid gold, yeah.
But it makes sense now.
Right. It really reflects...
Even all the work that goes into it.
The dedication and the artistry of those Niagara winemakers.
Yeah.
Capturing the essence of their cold climate in every bottle.
With climate change, though, those deep freezes aren't guaranteed anymore.
That's right.
So how is Niagara adapting, especially with the ice wine production?
Yeah, it's a real concern.
Yeah.
But the good news is Niagara's facing this challenge head on.
That's good to hear.
They're exploring new technologies.
Oh, interesting.
Like wind machines. To help prevent frost damage. They're experimenting with different grape varieties.
That might be better suited to warmer conditions.
Yeah, makes sense.
And they're even looking into the possibility of creating artificial freezing systems.
Wow, that's commitment.
It is.
That's really interesting.
To ensure that consistent supply of those precious frozen grapes.
It's encouraging to see that level of, innovation and forward thinking.
Absolutely.
That they're not just resting on their laurels.
Yeah.
They're actively finding ways to adapt and thrive.
Exactly. It speaks to their resilience.
Yeah.
Their determination.
Yeah.
To preserve this unique aspect of their winemaking heritage. Speaking of adaptation and innovation, the Portuguese sources you provided also highlight this impressive rise of ecotourism in the region.
Oh, yeah, ecotourism. They paint such a vivid picture of Niagara as a wine lover's paradise.
Oh, absolutely it is.
So set the scene for us.
Okay, so imagine you're driving along these scenic country roads, rolling vineyards as far as the eye can see.
Oh, beautiful.
You pass charming towns.
Yeah.
Quaint wineries beckoning you to stop in. Experience their unique offerings.
I am sold.
It's beautiful.
Okay, but what kind of experiences can wine enthusiasts expect?
Okay, well, there's something for everyone.
Yeah.
From those large, well-established wineries with state-of-the-art facilities to smaller family-run operations.
Yeah, I like those.
Where you can chat with the winemaker.
Yeah.
Really get a sense of their passion.
It's about the experience.
Exactly. You can explore those vineyards.
Yeah.
Take guided tours of the cellars.
Cool.
Learn about that winemaking process. And, of course, indulge in tastings.
Of course.
And beyond those wineries.
Yeah.
So much to see and do.
The Niagara Peninsula is more than just wine, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
It's a destination.
You've got the majestic Niagara Falls.
Oh, of course.
The charming town of Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Yeah.
With its beautiful architecture and vibrant theater scene. Wow. You've got award-winning restaurants showcasing local cuisine.
Oh, nice.
And charming bed and breakfast where you can really unwind.
Yeah.
Soak in the atmosphere.
Sounds like a feast for the senses.
It really is.
Now, what about special events or festivals?
There's always something happening.
Okay, like what?
The Niagara Wine Festival. Held every September. A must visit.
I bet.
With wine tastings, live music, culinary delights.
Sounds amazing.
It is.
And for those ice wine fanatics?
Yes.
The Niagara Ice Wine Festival in January.
Exactly. I can imagine it now.
Yeah, strolling through a winter wonderland of ice sculptures, indulging in ice wine pairings.
Yeah.
And experiencing the magic of that unique wine.
Yeah, so visiting Niagara really is an immersion.
It is.
Into a world of wine, food, culture, and natural beauty.
Absolutely. And the region has done a fantastic job of developing its ecotourism infrastructure.
Oh, that's great.
Well-marked wine routes, bike paths, guided tours.
Yeah, so they've really thought of everything. They have.
To make it easy for people to explore.
They really have.
But what about the economic impact of all this ecotourism?
It's significant.
I bet it is.
It brings in a lot of revenue, creates jobs.
Yeah.
Supports local businesses.
Yeah.
Contributes to the overall economic vitality of the region.
It's got to be huge for them.
It is, yeah.
But it goes beyond just the numbers, doesn't it?
It does.
In what way?
Well, ecotourism fosters this sense of community.
Okay.
And pride in Niagara's unique winemaking heritage.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It brings people together.
Yeah.
Strengthens the local economy.
Yeah.
Showcases the beauty and bounty of this special place.
Yeah, it sounds like a win-win for everyone involved.
It really is.
So while we're on the subject of what makes Niagara unique, I was really struck by how those sources emphasize this concept of typicity.
Typicity.
Which basically means expressing the unique character of the place through its wines.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating concept.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's something those Niagara winemakers are really embracing.
Absolutely.
So they're going beyond just making good wine.
Right.
They're striving to capture the essence of their terroir.
The climate, the soil, the unique interplay of nature.
Exactly. And translate that into wines that are distinctly Niagara.
Distinctly Niagara, yes.
So what are some of the key elements that contribute to that typicity, Dodd?
Well, one defining characteristic is that vibrant acidity.
Right. We talked about that.
Yeah, a hallmark of cool climate wines.
Yep.
And it gives the wines this wonderful freshness and zest.
Okay.
Balances out any sweetness, makes them incredibly food-friendly.
The sources also mention this distinct minerality.
Yes.
That comes through in many Niagara wines.
And that minerality is a direct reflection of the soil.
Interesting.
Those glacial deposits, rich in limestone and other minerals, impart this subtle, flinty character that adds complexity and depth.
So it's like you're tasting the history of the land in every sip.
It really is.
And it's not just about the grapes and the soil.
Right.
The winemakers themselves are really experimenting with different techniques.
Yes.
From using native yeasts for fermentation to aging wines in oak barrels from various forests.
It's all about finding the perfect expression of that Niagara terroir.
It's like a quest.
It is.
For the perfect expression of place.
Yes, a true labor of love.
Now, I'm curious to learn more about the different subregions within the Niagara Peninsula and how their unique characteristics influence the wines.
Yeah.
So the sources mention Niagara-on-the-Lake, Beamsville Bench, 20-Mile Bench, Short Hills Bench. So what sets them apart? So starting with Niagara-on-the-Lake, where the Niagara River meets Lake Ontario.
Right.
Sounds like it's a bit of a microclimate haven.
It is, yeah.
How so?
Well, the lake's moderating influence and those fertile clay-rich soils, they create a slightly warmer pocket.
Interesting.
Which is perfect for Cabernet Franc.
Oh, okay.
Merlot, even some late harvest wines.
So if you're looking for those bolder reds.
If you want those bolder reds with a bit more ripeness and structure, Niagara-on-the-Lake is the place to go.
Got it.
Now, moving along to Beamsville Bench.
Beamsville Bench,
This subregion sits a bit higher up.
Okay.
And it's really known for its limestone and sandstone soils.
Ah, Beamsville Bench.
Yes.
The sources raved about the Rieslings from this area.
Rieslings are fantastic.
Talking about their bright acidity and complex minerality. Why is Beamsville Bench considered so special for Riesling?
Yeah, that's a great question.
What sets it apart?
It really comes down to a perfect storm of factors.
Okay.
The cool climate.
Okay.
The long growing season. And those well-drained limestone and sandstone soils.
Yeah.
So those soils, they impart a distinct minerality to the wines.
Interesting.
The cooler climate helps preserve the grape's natural acidity, resulting in wines that are both vibrant and complex.
So they get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and Beamsville Bench benefits from those gentle slopes.
Okay.
And the moderating effect of Lake Ontario.
So it's really ideal conditions.
Yeah, creates those ideal conditions for Riesling to really shine.
It's amazing how these subtle variations in terroir
I don't know, it's fascinating.
Can have such a profound impact on the wines.
Absolutely.
Now, what about 20-Mile Bench?
20-Mile Bench.
Sounds like it has a completely different personality.
It does, yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, it's known for its long, gentle slope.
Okay.
And a mix of sandy loam and gravelly soils.
Interesting.
So this unique combination results in wines with a distinct character. So think Cabernet Franc.
Oh, okay.
And Syrah.
Okay.
With concentrated fruit flavors.
Okay.
And a more structured backbone.
So moving away from those lighter-bodied whites.
Yeah, a bit more structure.
Into the robust reds.
Exactly.
20-Mile Bench is where you find those wines.
Yeah, those are the wines that can age gracefully.
Okay.
Develop those complex aromas and flavors over time.
And lastly, we have Short Hills Bench.
Short Hills Bench, yep.
Nestled at the foot of the Niagara Escarpment.
Right.
So we're back to limestone territory.
Back to limestone. Similar to Beamsville Bench.
Right.
Short Hills Bench is dominated by limestone.
Sure, another good spot.
Makes it another prime spot for Chardonnay and Riesling.
Yeah.
With that beautiful minerality. But what's interesting is it also has pockets of clay soil.
Oh.
Which allows Pinot Noir to flourish as well.
So a little bit of both worlds.
A bit of both worlds, yeah.
You get those elegant whites and those lighter-bodied reds.
Correctly.
It's incredible how diverse
it really is.
The Niagara Peninsula is.
Yeah.
There's really something for everyone.
Absolutely. And it's a testament to the dedication of those winemakers who are passionate about showcasing the unique character of each sub-region.
This deep dive has been a whirlwind of information.
It has.
We've journeyed through the history, the terroir, the grapes, the wine styles, the challenges, and even the future of Niagara winemaking.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
We've explored the magic of ice wine, the rise of enotourism, and that intriguing concept of typicidade.
Right.
Expressing a sense of place through wine.
Yeah, and what's exciting is Niagara is still evolving.
Absolutely.
Experimenting and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in Canadian winemaking.
As we raise a glass to the Niagara Peninsula, what's the one thing you hope our listener takes away?
I hope they come away with a newfound appreciation for Niagara wines and the passionate people behind them.
And maybe inspired to visit.
Absolutely. And that they're inspired to seek out and experience that diversity and quality that this region has to offer.
Well said. Cheers to the Niagara Peninsula, a region that's clearly putting Canadian wine on the map.
Absolutely.
We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and left you wanting to discover more about this captivating wine region.
It's a special place.
Until next time, happy sipping.
Cheers.